Sensor 2 kicking in. Nice. Hi everyone, this is Chycho. Today, baby nights, how are you doing? Always right on time. I try to be. I try to be. Random Moose Brains, how are you doing? It's been a while, I think. Gang, today is October 13th, 2024, and we're doing a open discussion live stream on Sunday 3 p.m. PST. Temporary peace. Hola, hola, hola. Hope you're doing well. Salute everyone. Welcome to our live stream. Mr. Chang, you said you were going to drop in today. Nice to see you. Alex on SensorTube. Yo. Hope you're doing well. Random Moose Brain. Indeed, enjoying the Sunday today with some studying. Nice. What are you studying? Alex asks, how am I doing? I'm doing pretty good. I did a lot of work today. I got up at like crazy time. I got up at like 3:30 in the morning, did some cooking and stuff, and I just been going all day. It's fantastic. Harvested tobacco. The rest of the tobacco leaves I had, washed most of them. Some are still sitting in water. Harvested a lot of greens, made some cuckoo, made some beef, made some casserole dish, went and visited family, played with the kitty cats, uploaded 4 videos, I think. Oh, I gotta announce those after the stream. Hopefully I remember. Uploaded the last 4 streams of the live stream we did like 2 weeks ago. So I'm behind on that front, but it is what it is. Random Moose Brain. On Sundays I catch up on tech stuff, program, and do ethical hacking related stuff. Nice. Need to do some game programming, catch up to. Nice. Oh, I forgot to turn on the audio. Hold on a second, gang. I turned on all the rest. Let's do. There we go. Is this? Oh, I gotta turn this on too. Salute. Yeah, there it is. So I'm just gonna, I forgot to turn the audio on for the last 5 minutes. So salutations to anyone that's gonna be listening to this as an audio podcast. I'm recording on a lapel mic, wherever you might be. I am Chycho, and welcome to our live stream. Today is October 13th, 2024, and we're doing an open discussion live stream after a comic book haul we did yesterday. Comic haul OG. Nice. It was an interesting comic book haul. I wish we didn't have those complications with the seller that deleted their account, but it is what it is, right? Ballista on SensorTube. Hello to one of the most rational thinking people I've met. Some people think I'm totally irrational, just because I don't parrot the, the corporate narrative, and I try to function independently from the centralized state, centralized institutions. Some people think I'm crazy. I should take advantage of what they offer. I'm like, damn. Servitude, willing to become a slave to the system. Damn. Happy Turkey Day, empty lebut. Happy Turkey Day. I haven't had turkey. Actually, I didn't buy turkey. Maybe tomorrow I'll get some turkey breast and cook it up with family. I made some cranberry sauce as well today. What are you drinking today? I got water, and I'm still going on the Beautiful binge. I'm enjoying the Beautiful. It's very relaxing, good for the fall. So salute, gang. 50-50 Grand Marnier and Cognac. Salute. It's very nice. And I got water as kicker, right? I always have water. And a snack, I bought some pineapple. The pineapple's pretty good this year. So this is the second pineapple we're having this year. I just cut them up, and they're really sweet. Like, it's really nice pineapple, actually. The last one was too. All right, let's see. Will it focus? I'll bring that light over this way. It's crazy sweet. Very nice. A pineapple I'll just eat like this. It's very addictive. Extremely refreshing. Yum. Very yum. Balista, when did thinking based on facts and not public opinions become irrational? When people decided to give away their freedom, independence for comfort, so that centralized power could take care of them. That's the only explanation I have. People they forfeited their individuality, their humanity, for comfort. You're crazy. Jason on SensorTube, everything is cyclical. If history is studied, we can see them coming. We can see them coming. Indeed, I agree. We live in cycles, very much so, very much so. Dutchy 2000, first time chat on Twitch. Greetings from the Netherlands. Salutations, Netherlands. Hope you're doing well. Salute. When I was in Amsterdam with a friend, long time ago, we tried to go see an Ajax game, but we couldn't get in. It was sold out. People were crazy. Like totally sold out. We took the train there, and the train was insane, so it was interesting. Nice place. Prowler Ranger, that guy you bought them from was super shady. Sounded like he was trying to stall you long enough to where you could no longer open a case. Indeed. And what happened this morning, I slept on it, and I was like, because I checked the Shaggy record, and the Green Lantern number 5. You won F20. Thank you very much for subscribing. Doop, doop. Subscribe for 5 months. Salute, salute. Thank you very much for the support, brother or sister, of course. You won F920 on Twitch. So I slept on it, and Green Lantern number 5, the cover was detached, and I wanted to open up the description of the item, of the listing, but I couldn't open it up because he deleted his account. And I was like, oh, I'm sure it wasn't supposed to be detached. He didn't say it was detached. So this morning I got up, and I was a little pissed. I was like, the guy tried to scam me, man. I don't like it. Like, what the hell? I was so nice with the guy, right? Like, seriously, so nice with him. So I said I want to return the item. I filed a case for the Green Lantern number 5 to return the item, and I filed a case for Shaggy, the philosophy of the world or whatever, to return that as well, because I was pissed, and it wasn't. I showed it a little embellished, little. It wasn't near mint. There was an issue with it. It was just a scruff thing, like a stain or whatever it was on the rooster, on the yellow thing. It didn't sit well with me. I just don't. If it doesn't sit well with me, I gotta do something about it. So I just said I want to return it. Right. I sent the thing, and within 10 minutes, eBay refunded me both funds. Right. I have no idea what's going to come of it. I guess they realize. I'm pretty sure other people must have filed cases against this guy. I'm okay with the rest of the stuff we got, even though I wasn't cool with the records being on the ends of the bottle. Who does that? I'm still gonna, probably tonight or tomorrow, I'm gonna crack open one of the Muslim Gauze albums just to make sure that's okay and play it. Looking forward to it. And if there's any issues, I'll file a case on that as well. That's the one really good thing about eBay. And I think I've done this twice in and I've been on eBay since 2002, I think, or 2001. So in like 14 years, I've only filed a case twice or three times with someone, right? And this is the most items with anyone. So the word to the wise, it's not good trying to pull scams. It's not on individuals anyway, not on another human being. You shouldn't anyway, but doing it to another human being is like doubly nasty, right? Doubly nasty. Real MC Mike, happy Thanksgiving, chycho and gang. Hope you're all doing well. Indeed, MC. Hope happy Thanksgiving to you as well. To Alberta, actually. Salutations and bon appetit. Real Xenor says UF1920 2306 UF1920 chycho. I broke up with my ex. Oh no. Tried reaching out again. He's ignoring my text but still follows me on Instagram and is posting on his story. Any advice, brother? I've never broken up with anyone where we're not on good terms. There was one instant where she's still one of my best friends for sure, but we needed to separate. She was pretty pissed, understandably, right? It was legit breakup, but we didn't touch base for a few weeks or a few months, and then we started our relationship again, not partner but as friends, right? However, I've been in situation where and I know of people where either a friend went dark or I went dark maybe, and other people where their partners have, stalking to a certain degree and then infatuated with the ex. My recommendation would be to continue to reach out, and just say, listen, still care for you, still love you, but might need a time off and stuff like this and whatnot, or see how they feel. Like, reach out, just get a feeler out there. And if they're being sort of on a stocky level or sort of on a sketchy level, what you could do is say, listen, I just need a serious break for a while, and then go dark online on your Instagram and stuff like this. Just make everything private, don't make it public, and don't post anything for a while. Maybe you could just ban them, but I don't know if you want to take that step. If it's a nasty relationship, sure, but I would try to make things keep things as civil as possible. That would be my personal advice. And you shouldn't care if they're posting I don't do Facebook and Instagram. I don't follow personal personal things on anyone. What I do online is I'm interested in news and information, not people's personal behaviors, personal relationships. I don't do gossip. I don't follow any friends online to see what they've been doing, where they've been eating, what movies they've seen, what they're recommending. I don't. It's I guess it's weird maybe, but I don't follow anyone online, any friends or family, right? So that's my preferred interaction with technology and with information, and I like to do things in person when it comes to friends and family and stuff like that. And if you've noticed, I don't really post personal stuff. We do cooking stuff. I do stuff that's related to the content that I'm trying to share. So my main general advice just on this rant is, I think people should stop sharing so much personal information online. It's getting to a point where people are making it way too easy for governments and centralized power to monitor, to track, to control us, right? This is one of the things I wrote. One of the articles that I first wrote, the first main article that I really shared online. And I'm going to read you that paragraph because I know this is a personal relationship, you know, sort of question that you're having, I guess. But it's also related to technology and information in general. And here's the article. I'm going to post it on CensorTube and on Twitch and on Rumble. I don't know if people are on Rumble. Let me see. How's the feed on Rumble? The feed on Rumble is not bad. But I'm going to read you this paragraph. And it's the article that I've referenced a fair bit. It's called, I wrote this in, when did I write it? I wrote it in 2006. So 18 years ago. Wow. 18 years ago. And it's called Anomalies, Prisons, and Geophysics, How Governments Use Data and How to Stop Them. Let me find a paragraph. It's the last paragraph. No, it's not the last paragraph. It's like the fourth last paragraph. It's in the middle. And this is what I wrote. Quote, it is extremely important for us as a population to fully comprehend the power that this sort of broad data collection gives our governments. Those who control and interpret the data will have the ability to not only remove unwanted people, but also to restrict the movement of the entire populace. For example, it is relatively easy to place a location marker on all credit card and bank cards, which when activated will only allow cars to be used within a certain area. If governments decide to restrict travel, then all they need to do is activate the location markers to restrict the use of financial activity to within a certain distance of a residence, creating a jail without physical walls. When this scenario is carried out, special permissions will be needed to be obtained by anyone traveling outside of their zone. There are numerous ways, and then the next paragraph, there are numerous ways to gain freedom from these organizations whose purpose is to identify, isolate, incarcerate, eliminate, and even exterminate what they deem to be undesirable elements from society. The machine running these filtration programs can be halted if people stop providing government and corporations with data. Reducing the number of transactions that are automatically fed into the database will produce gaps and uncertainties in the data set, creating an erroneous interpretation. If enough errors are made, a population loses confidence in the controllers and the system should correct itself. Providing these organizations with large quantities of false or distorted data can also reduce the efficiency of their system. Other methods may include the retaining of a retraining of law enforcement officers, using cash whenever possible, disassociation and or protection from insecure electronic activity, and private inquiry into the reasons for government acquisition of personal data. It is very important to grasp the concept that if there is no data set, then there are no anomalies. Okay, and then it continues. So my advice is pull back a little bit. Stop caring what someone is sharing, and stop sharing as much personal information that you might be sharing, and that will be your slowly, maybe rapidly, the distance that you acquire from your ex or from people that may be too interested in you, right? I hope that helped. Yeah, break up with a girl if you don't have one. Haha. Prime time. I screenshot all my important purchase pages. Nice. First time chat. I'm looking to start my comic book collection. Do you recommend any places to start out? Your local comic shop. Go to the dollar bins and try to cut a deal with with the comic book store owner. U1F92. I just saw that posted. I was just scrolling down. Much love, brother. Your advice of being civil sticks with me, and it's something I try with everyone. But when with my ex, he's an avoidant. He's an avoidant and prefers not to be civil and communicate. Then I would cut them off permanently. I would just say, listen, man, I need distance. I don't, you know, I just need distance. You don't have to explain yourself. I just need distance. So I'm gonna prevent you from following me online, and I'm going dark online. And it will, you know, I learned a lot from you. Thank you very much. I hope you feel the same. I've grown. Blah 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 blah. Bye bye. That would be my take in a civil way, of course. All right. Flowers, child, how are you doing? Salutations on Sensor Tube. What's that nice rock collection of it? Wage Slave Uranus on Sensor Tube saying, show us that nice rock collection over there. This we actually have like 3 videos out, I think 3 or 4 mineral, like there's crystals, minerals, and rocks here, and throughout the house. But we have at least 1 or 2 videos of this magnifying lens where we're looking at this stuff really close up. It's very ASMR, very cool, beautiful stuff. You should be able to find it online. Just go chycho mineral collection and you should find it. You should find it. Tao R chycho, ever have much of an interest in the occult, esotericism? Yeah, for sure. Been reading comparative mythology and the works of Carl Jung and starting to wade into the topics. Curious if you're tread them. I did a little bit, but one thing I took to heart regarding esoteric stuff and whatnot, and that information came to me from Robert Anton Wilson, because Robert Anton Wilson, if you don't know him, put that down. He talks a lot about it, and listen to a 7-hour interview with Robert Anton Wilson where it's Robert Anton Wilson explains everything. That's what it's called, or Raw shows his ignorance, something like this. It's like you know, double title or something, right? But one thing he mentioned regarding Aleister Crowley, right? He said Aleister Crowley, basically, if you know Aleister Crowley, he was from an aristocratic family, very rich. He had the money and the time and the inclination to travel around and look into the occult, right, and practice some of that stuff and whatnot. But like most people that are fed with a golden spoon or a silver spoon, that especially from the Western world, that like to accelerate things, right? Like, for example, one of the things I learned while experimenting with Salvia Divinorum, at the time I read everything online on it, right? This was in 2000. So there wasn't that much, but I read everything on it, right? I read D.M. Turner's books, 2 books that he had, a couple of times at least. Salvadoran for sure, twice, and the other one, so anyway, I'm going off a little bit, but I read a lot of everything online regarding Salvador, and one thing I kept on coming across was that Westerners stating that the indigenous population where Salvia Divinorum came from, which was Oaxaca, Mexico, weren't doing it right. And when I read that, I went, oh, a bunch of like arrogant C-word idiots, right? The indigenous population that have been doing it for longer than your great grandfather has been alive, they weren't doing it right. You geniuses in the Western world came along and you figured out how to do it right, which was create extracts and make the leaf 5 times, 10 times, 20 times, 30 times, 50 times stronger, and extract out the pure Salvadoran A. And D.M. Turner did that, and through his book he said, don't do it, it's pure chaos. And I took that to heart. And when I read the Western people experimenting, the Psychonauts experimenting with Salvia Divinorum, saying that the indigenous people weren't doing it right, where they were chewing the leaves or making tea and drinking it, and I went, okay, these people don't know what they're talking about. And that was sort of mirrored what Robert Anton Wilson was saying regarding Aleister Crowley and experimentation with esoteric stuff. That Aleister Crowley went into it, he was trying to do as much as he could, and Robert Anton Wilson was saying one of the main problems with people delving into this realm is that people like to take the information and try to use the information without doing the what do you call it, the exercises, right? The work to reach a certain level, right? So for example, a lot of people would read about the esoteric stuff where the yogi would do whatever, or you take entheogens or meditate or chant or whatever it is, but people would skip that part, right, where they have to chant for 2 hours, and they would try to get to the next level, next level, next level, next level, next level. And that's one thing he mentioned about Aleister Crowley, that Aleister Crowley went very, 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 very dark, right, and gave birth to a lot of darkness. Some people say that was by intention. Some people say because he, well, according to Robert Anton Wilson, what the reason that Aleister Crowley went so dark and it started destroying him to a certain degree, and I don't know too much about Aleister Crowley's personal life. Like I said, I'm not interested in personal life, I'm interested in information they're sharing. Robert Anton Wilson stated that the problems that Aleister Crowley was having, and a lot of people have, is because they don't do the exercises that a lot of these teachings say, and they open up their chakras in the wrong order. So they try to go straight from the core chakra. I don't know what it's called, your stomach chakra, right? Go straight from there, skip this, especially the heart, and they try to hit the mind because you seek information. I try to do that, right? But I'm a good student, so I took Robert Anton Wilson's and DM Turner's words to heart, and I slowed down where I was doing the exercises, I was doing the meditation, where I was going slow enough to be able to digest the information and apply some of the things I was learning in my life to be able to progress in the right order. Because Robert Anton Wilson stated with regarding Aleister Crowley is he didn't open up his heart chakra, so that really messed him up when he opened up the mind chakra and all the information started flowing in, but he didn't have the heart, the love, right there to be able to process the information correctly, so he went very, very dark, right? So that would be my take on the esoteric stuff and the occult, shamanism, entheogens, meditation, all of it, including sciences, right? Don't try to seek in, if you're studying sciences, physics, mathematics, chemistry, biology, whatever, right? If you're going down any discipline, right, don't try to just consume as much information as you can without sharing. That's one of the things you need to do. You can't be a sinkhole for information or practices. You have to share. You have to, there's got to be flow within you, right? There's got to be flow within you, right? You can't just always be a student. You also have to be a teacher. You also have to share information. So, you know, that's a long-winded answer. My take on it, that would be my quick, rapid take, unless there's a specific question regarding something. Okay, beautiful realm to explore, but be careful with most things that are powerful. They could bite you in the ass, right? They could bite you in the ass. Piano Weaver, chycho, if you were in my position, would you start playing the bass guitar or keyboard? Bass guitar or keyboard? First of all, I'll give you two answers. If I was going to start learning how to play the bass guitar, I would definitely not play with a pick. I would play like this. I personally love people, bassists that play bass like this. I don't like the pick. I know why people do it, because that way they can transition into the guitar as well, and they could play multiple string instruments. Very difficult to transition from this to playing like a guitar like this. I haven't seen anyone doing it, right? The other answer I would give you is that is an answer that I learned when I was in the 1980s, when I was watching the TV show called Fame. I don't know, you guys aren't old enough to have watched it. Elder God would have seen it. By the way, gang, apologies, I'm not checking chat and stuff. I'm just going off on answering questions, right? But in the 80s, there was a TV show called Fame, and it came about from the movie Fame, right? And the movie Fame wasn't, it was okay, but it wasn't as good as the TV show Fame. And if you have watched that show, you know there was a guy, there was a I think it was a Jewish kid in the movie. He portrayed a Jewish kid. I think he had like afro hair, and he played the keyboards, and he experimented with computers, playing music and stuff like this. And his teacher was giving him a hard time, right? Because his teacher wasn't into the synthesizers, into using computers to make music. His teacher was old school. He wanted instruments to create music. And there was a discussion that they had where the kid let loose on the teacher, saying, listen, if Beethoven was alive right now, he wouldn't bother, right? He wouldn't bother getting 50 people together with an orchestra to create his music. He would sit behind a computer with a synthesizer and do it all himself. And anybody that wanted to get a symphony or a philharmonica or whatever to give performances of his music, by all means, fantastic. But he wouldn't waste his time trying to tell the third violinist or the first violinist to tune their violin, or that they need to do this or do this or do this, right? So your question is saying, should you play bass guitar or keyboard? Neither. I would start messing around with the programs to create music. If you want to write your own music, if you want to just enjoy playing an instrument, it's your preference. Play the one that you love, or play both. There's a lot of do a Geddy Lee, but stay away from the keyboard. Geddy, or Geddy, stay away from the synthesizer, because Geddy Lee, one of the greatest musicians in rock history, Canadian musician, the bassist and the lead singer of Rush, he also played a lot of synthesizer, right? A little bit too much for a period, but amazing bassist, right? So it is what it is. Miss Balloon Hands, how are you doing? Hope you're doing well, gang. I'm all the way down to the bottom of chat. I don't know if I missed too much, going off on my rants, but fun to do, baby nights. It's difficult to explain, but Elder God gets it. What do you get? For example, pride and wokeism is not normal or tolerated here. Men are still men, women are women. None of the bullshit that US gets away with doesn't work here, because we are still old school, I guess. Don't know how to explain it otherwise. Where is this? I don't know where they're talking about. Miss Balloon has working on the core before moving to the head reminds me of psychology. If you don't hit the core, you won't be able to fully resolve issues in the mind. Core is absolutely the most important, because once you do that, it's only up from there. Haha, it's only up from there. Cool. That's it. I'm gonna start using that. I'm stealing that from you, Miss Balloon Hands. I'm stealing it. Mabel Deer, I'm back. What did I miss? I don't know. When did you go? Mabel Deer, why with 5 years behind? Oh no, what's going on? Oh, people were having a nice conversation there. Okay, I'm not gonna go there. Please do. Will do, Miss Balloon Hands. Will do. It's only up from the core. If you go to the weight room and do weights, you got to do the legs first. If you don't do the legs, you got to go way down there. You got to hit the calves, start working the calves and work it all up, right? That should be really the ideal. You do leg day, you do upper body, leg day, upper body, leg day, upper body, and then cardio day or something. I always skip the cardio day. The cardio was for me. The cardio was lifting the weights. I tried to do them rapidly. Salute, King. I hope you had a fantastic Sunday. Kernow pasty Cornish Corsair. Good evening to you as well. Samuel Collier. Side note, we made it through the hurricane. Just got Wi-Fi back. Nice. I've missed the videos. Oh, did you guys get any damage? That was North Carolina stuff. Crazy stuff. Crazy stuff. Right? Crazy stuff. Tao. For those interested. Oh, you can't post links, Tao. Okay. Only me and mods can post links on Twitch, and I think it's the same thing on CensorTube. John Summerford, salute Chicho and all Chichonians. Salute to you as well, John. Welcome to another live stream. Oh God, actually legs need less attention than other parts. Really? I used to hit the legs really hard. Soccer player, right? Soccer, and I did some wrestling. The legs, I just got a kick out of the legs. And it, by the way, for men out there, you want to boost in your testosterone, in your manlyhood, do legs. It feeds your core. Legs, really important. Mabel Deer, have you ever read Grant Morrison's Animal Man? Yeah, for sure. I haven't read the whole thing. I've read maybe, I don't know, I read a long time ago, so I don't remember what I've read. But every now and then I pick one up. I find it in a dollar bin, 50-cent bin, or buy it in a lot. Oh, another Animal Man. Right on. I'll read it again. I can't remember what issues I've read. I've read from number 1, right? But I don't know how far I went, and I barely remember it. Yeah, Grant Morrison's Animal Man is fantastic. Panic CIA 03. Happy Thanksgiving to you as well. Salute. Samuel, tons. The tornadoes were awful. Oh, I saw the tornado stuff. Samuel, tons. The tornadoes were awful. Many people have lost their homes and lives in our community. Yeah, I saw for Florida, the Florida hurricane that hit, there was like 300 or a few hundred hurricanes that touched, not hurricanes, tornadoes that touched down in Florida, and that to me was crazy. I didn't realize. Well, there's crazy stuff going on, so we won't speculate, but yeah, a lot of people, I've seen some footage, some videos and stuff. Nasty. John, one of my clients was in Asheville, North Carolina. She said it is camping at home, no power, water, or gas for a while now. Wow. And the administration, US administration, the Biden-Harris administration, sending them $750, and from what I understand, it's a loan. It's not even here's $750, by 750. What the hell are you gonna do with $750 when you don't have power, gas, electricity? Your roof on your house is gone. Like, what? But it's supposed to be a loan, from what I understand. The absurdity is insane. Meet. Did anyone see the Northern Lights on? Oh, I missed it. My partner mentioned it, and we didn't know about it until the day after. We're like, oh, it's supposed to be really good. Are we gonna have a stream on the US election day? Oh my god, please do. US election day stream. I haven't thought about it, but we could. Let me see which day it is and what's going on, right? I'd rather watch chycho than the news that day. Yeah, what I would be doing is just looking at the stats of it, but maybe it might be cool to do. I don't know, I'll think about it. Real Zero. I walk many kilometers every day. Kilometers uphill. I do cardio every day. Nice. That is my cardio. Nice. Best way to do. It was too cloudy. Oh, it was too cloudy where you were. It was clear here. We could have seen it. We didn't know about it until day after, right? Oh God, I concentrate on my core, then traps and shoulders, then arms and legs. Really, I used to, yeah, I hit the legs hard, and I like the chest, the legs and chest and the back, but the chest more. It it intimidates. Same with legs. This Moon has walking is great cardio, easy on the body and effective. Yeah, walking is the best. Mabel dear, I used to walk almost an hour um, to work, I guess, to hour to walk to, and an hour to walk back from my school almost my whole life. Core stronger than earth. Nice. Yeah, me too. I love the long walks. Temporary peace. I saw that the hurricanes are a cover up for the forest fires of Wyoming. I don't know if it's a cover up, it's a land grab, right? Usually centralized state doesn't have one agenda, they have multiple agendas that they overlay, right? But definitely there's a land grab play angle to it. No, no question, no question. Prowler Ranger, how are we doing? It's the 5th of November. I think it's worth it for the history that could be discussed. Okay, 5th of November. What's the date on the 5th of November? What day is it? Tuesday. Oh, usually I teach a lot there. I got lots of students on that day. There's certain days I've packed in my students so I could do other things on other days. So I don't know. I don't know if I'll sacrifice my students to cover U.S. elections. But we see. Tuesday nowhere for his U.S. elections. Maybe is weeks away. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. We'll see how it goes. Forest fires should die down soon, I hope. End of season. End of season should be, and they should have already been end of season. Mabel dear, sorry. Only now I've noticed that goofy grammar. Well, it's my second language. Better than most. Many people only have one, right? Mabel dear, yeah, I teach privately, mathematics, and I love it. Mathematics and physics. Baby nice, yeah, no pressure. If it can be done, great. If not, still good. And by the way, the results don't come in until the evening, so we'll see. We'll see. Evening stream maybe 7 till 9. Yeah, usually on Tuesdays. What time I teach until? I'm teaching until like 7:30, 8 o'clock. I go late. Chycho time. Yeah, maybe we do. Students are the future of all. Indeed, real xenomorph, 100%. Jonah, how are you doing? How is life? Chycho, the extant black nobility family. Extant, in this case, families whose ancestors include popes. Okay, include in particular the Colonna, Massimo, Orsini, Rospoli, Paolo Vicini, Theodoli, Sacchiti, Borgos, or the man, you testing my name reading thing. Or the Stacciali Italian names of one companion. Important extinct papal family includes the Savilli. More names. Are those families that govern Earth your thought? I have no idea. I can't even pronounce their names, but there are families. Many of them have been inbreeding for centuries, if not millennia, that control a huge chunk of the wealth in our world. Yeah. Anybody that doesn't realize that there are secret hands in play controlling everything, not you as an individual, but controlling the economy, war, politics, economics, healthcare, education. If people don't realize that that's part of the system that we live under right now, then you should be up to date with your boosters. Congratulations. Like, really, I think that should be a given by now, no? Like, everybody should realize that. Like, do people actually think the person that they voted for, which was in the United States, if you believe those numbers, the most voted for person in US history, hilarious, that Joe Biden actually is calling the shots in the United States of America, that person really knows everything there is to know about everything that is happening domestically and geopolitically in the for the United States, that Joe Biden is aware of that and he's making the decisions to do things. So yeah, there's a Jonah for sure, but I don't know the name of the families. I know the Vatican has a huge role to play in it. Hopefully one day we get to see what's under the Vatican. Would love to see those books. Why aren't they scanned? Why aren't they available digitally to humanity? Why are they the gatekeepers of knowledge? Right? That right away you should appreciate, you should realize that, oh, that's a corrupt institution. So is all centralized institutions, right? Panic. What are your thoughts on the Dragati mafia mafia in Italy? I don't know. The only mafia that I'm following right now is the who is it, the Corleones or whatever, from the Batman universe, and that's because the two mafia families, that's because I'm watching the Penguin. Like, that's the only mafia family I'm following right now. I'm not interested in their lineages. I know it goes back a long ass time and it's all connected up. Like, people say the Roman Empire fell. No, the Roman Empire renamed themselves as the Catholic Church and they continued what they're doing. That's all, right? Temporary peace. I'll get to the names. Give me a second. The cat is huge. Probably people probably have no means to change. What was the other one? Oh, there it is. Mabel Deer, NGL. I love my country's healthcare. I just can't understand how Americans are okay with how it works there. I mean, some don't, but still. Tell you the truth, I think a lot of Canadians right now would rather be in an American healthcare system. Our Canadian healthcare, socialized healthcare, is completely collapsing. It's already collapsed, right? It's just certain sectors of society are getting hit harder sooner than the rest that will get hit hard, right? Like, we have in our town, we have two elderly family in our city, right, that are staying with us, that my partner is watching over one, I'm watching over the other, making sure they're okay. They're both paying out of pocket on a monthly basis for private healthcare, for private doctors, because the current healthcare has collapsed for them, right? They can't get care. There are people dying in emergency wards. Hospitals throughout British Columbia are closing emergency wards, right? Like, shutting them down, right? So, and they're closing operating rooms. In BC, I'll give you one example in BC. This one I know for a fact because my partner is a nurse and she told me the data. They've hospital. There's a neurosurgeon, I think, that works with the brain and the neck and stuff like this. And in BC, in my area, certain types of surgeries and stuff, they get their own days in the month. They get a number of days in the month, and there's emergencies and stuff too, but these days are reserved, if you're like this neurosurgeon or whatever he's doing, like he's like specializing in the brain, neck, and stuff like this. He gets 1 day a month in the hospital he's working on, 1 day a month to do his surgeries that he needs to do. Okay, so 1 day a month, pretty serious business, right? Meanwhile, 12 days a month are reserved for reserved for people, doctors that are doing sex change operations, transgender operations and stuff. So 1 day a month for neurosurgery, brain, neck, stuff like this, and 12 days at one of the hospitals. 12 days a month they're doing sex changes. I don't know what to say about that. Really. So that's taking away from people that require surgery, right? That's taking away time for people. It doesn't have to be neurosurgery, but 12 days a month. There are a lot of people, like, you should see the backlog of people that are waiting for surgeries, right? It's crazy in Canada. It's crazy. So that's my take on it. Alim Thumb on Rumble, salutations. How are you doing? How's the feed on Rumble, brother? Rumble is getting a little low, but then fluctuating. So hopefully it's okay. Why calling for the death penalty for that guy? What is it? What did Trump say? Oh, they got Trump. Quote: I am hereby calling for the death penalty for any migrant that kills an American citizen or a law enforcement officer. What is my problem with capital punishment is we can't trust centralized power. They've executed how many innocent people on death row, especially in the United States. Huge problem. But we're seeing the collapse of centralized power. That's where we are right now. Mistrust of centralized institutions, governments, healthcare, finance, everything, education, everything. Miss Bloomington says, roughly how much does private healthcare cost in Canada? It really depends, because some programs you can join, it's a hybrid, private and province. Some are just private, just for consultation. Some are private that provide a lot more, and then you can also pay for what you need out of pocket. And if there is room, if there isn't, a lot of Canadians go to the US or Mexico to get whatever they need done. For example, one elderly we have in our city is paying, I think it's like $1,700 a year to have access to a private doctor, where the private doctor can prescribe her medicine, and if she needs to go see a private doctor, she can. Now here's the kicker: that private doctor that's prescribing her medicine or says you need to go get an eye exam and stuff like this, when she goes and gets the eye exam or gets the medication, it's not covered under the socialized healthcare system because a private doctor wrote it, so she has to pay out of pocket for the pills, for any lab test that they need to do, or any other thing that they need to do. So it becomes expensive. So $1,500, $1,700 is just having access to be able to talk to someone, right? We have another elderly that's using in a joint system with private, and it's a hybrid, private and provincial, socialized, where we're paying let's say $450 a month, and in that case the referrals are covered by the province, right? So it varies, and there's others there as well, but it can be extremely expensive if you need to pay out of pocket, and the wait time is crazy. It's crazy. It's crazy. I've known people that have flown to Iran to do dental as well as healthcare, or to Armenia that have gone there to do operations and stuff like this, because they had to wait way too long here, and private to do private here in Canada was crazy expensive, where they could get it done at a tenth of the cost in Armenia and Iran. Doctors and the procedures are just as good, right? Walter Falls. I had the worst experience of my life with our Canadian healthcare, and when I was in US I had the best experience of my life. Yeah, that's a lot of testimony coming from Canadians that have had to deal with US healthcare and Canadian healthcare. Canadian healthcare used to be okay, but our governments annihilated it, right? They destroyed it, right? King Vibe. No, we're watching a heel turn against certain things. Spencer, hope you're doing well, chycho, and all. Salutations, Spencer. Welcome to our live stream on Censor 2. Alim Thoth. There goes my hero. Watch chycho, and he goes woo. That's Cliff my reference. Funny. Canada doesn't deserve this suffering. No, real xenomorph, we don't deserve it. No, we do deserve it. There's a saying that says you get the government that you deserve. We do deserve it. Oh God, I would welcome it in the UK for migrants who kill or rape. Yeah, I agree. No, don't get me wrong. I used to be against death penalty. I used to be pro death penalty, and against death penalty, and then pro death penalty, and against death penalty. I'm pro death penalty, with a caveat. I don't trust a centralized system, so that makes me go, I'm not pro death penalty, because I don't trust the centralized system. However, there are people that we are aware of that are 100% guilty of committing horrendous crimes in the last 4 years. We all know their names. Okay, we all know their names, we all know who they are, and there's no question, there's no doubt that they have committed these crimes, right? And they should be duly dealt with legally, if it's possible. Okay, right? King Vibe. The guys running the world seem tired of the job and really ready to cut back. Yeah, unfortunately, they consider depopulation cutting back, right? Manage less people. Rumble is freezing. Is Rumble freezing? Okay. Alim Thoth. How's Rumble? Who said the Rumble? Elder guy is saying Rumble is freezing, and you're talking about hurricanes on it right now. Oh no, really? Alimuth, are you still on Rumble? Do you still want to watch on Rumble? If you do, I'll keep it going. But the odds are, when we finish the stream, it's only going to be part of the stream. Okay, and if it's freezing, then you're not getting the whole thing. Let me know. I'll wait a couple more minutes. If I see the bit rate going down too much, I might kill the Rumble feed, because it starts freezing up the other feeds. Okay. Sometimes Rumble is good, sometimes it's, I think maybe what's happening is a lot of people are moving to Rumble to live stream there, so they need to upgrade their servers and stuff. So I think that's what's going on. This is growing pains that Rumble is going through. It's good and bad. The bad side is they weren't ready for it. Hopefully they'll get ready for it. The good side is people are moving off censored platforms. Rumble needs servers. Yeah, I think they need servers. They'll get it together. I don't doubt it. They might have to do a little bit of refinancing and stuff like this. Jonah Jones, salutations on Censor 2. Hope you're doing well. Salutations to Manchester, UK. Salute from west coast of Canada. So Rumble is just 18 minutes behind. Okay. Miss Spoonhouse, sounds like you've got to be rich in US and Canada for appropriate timely healthcare. Very sad. Yeah. Oh yeah, there's no doubt. Cats meow. Salute. Hope you're doing well. Hello, everybody. Temporary peace. I tried to find the names of the families in control quote the bloodlines, but the video is too long. For anyone interested in learning more about the subject, laugh out loud. Khazarian Mafia, the God Eaters, the Name Stealers, the Elohim Cult, right? Look up Khazarian Mafia, the God Eaters, on CensorTube. Mikkel Hip 205. Hey, I have a friend that I have feelings for her, but we have been best friends for a year. Do you have any advice? Yeah, maybe it's a good thing you guys were best friends for years. Maybe you could be amazing lovers as well. Tell her how you feel if the time is appropriate. Don't, you know, don't break her to her at an awkward moment. Maybe start sharing your feelings slowly. Don't make a move on her in regards to intimacy unless you know it's okay. But tell her how you feel. Honesty is amazing. Honesty is the best policy. That being said, is very difficult to do. Very difficult to do. I don't. I'm not implying it's easy to do. The solution is easy, but it's not an easy task, right? It's in my wiser older, since I'm wise, hopefully wiser, but I am definitely older. I wish I did that when I was younger, right? I missed out on a few opportunities to get it on. But I am very happy where I am, so maybe those were the right choices, right? So it's not about regret, it's about optimizing the opportunities that present themselves to you. That might not be the best way to look at it, but you can't have everything, right? It's like collecting comic books, buying comic books. You can't buy everything, right? And you can't be intimately involved with everyone you care for or want to be involved with. You would lose your mind, right? Miss Spoonhouse got the head out. Bye you all, much love. Lots of love, Miss Spoonhouse. Thank you for popping in. Cheers. Sleepy Ways, how are you doing? Chycho, long time no see, bro. Sleepy Waves, how's New York or Colombia? Cats meow, hope you're doing well. Also, Chycho, did Klaus Schwab step down? If so, your thoughts. Thanks. He stepped out of the role he was in, but he's still there orchestrating everything. So he hasn't stepped down. He just changed his name, his title. He just changed his title. So that's all it is. And Klaus Schwab is one of those people we know in the last 4 years. So, right? Mikkel Hep. Okay, thanks. I have that in mind, and sometime take my shot. Yeah, and just, you know, you could just hold hands. You could just cuddle. You could just be with them, and see what comes. He's been getting too much heat. Temporary. He's been getting, yeah. He basically changed his title because he was getting too much heat. World Economic Forum was on everyone's radar, right? Elder God, I use movie quotes in different personal situations, and to get a girl into bed. The Matrix has some good ones, does it? I gotta watch that again. What? Sleepaway Chycho, I have heard you saying that the solar electric energy sector has been co-opted, and you think it's a fraud. Why is that? It's not feasible. It's not viable. They need a lot of minerals, mining, right? the solar cells have a lifespan of anywhere between 15 to 25 years. Okay. A lot of mining is child labor and slave labor. A lot of industry that's producing it, like to produce those solar cells, they're creating tons of pollution. The energy required to produce the solar cells and to set up these grids, you really have to optimize it to make it energy efficient over a 15-year period. If anything happens, you put more energy into creating the solar cells than you do out of getting energy out of the solar cells, i.e. you will never recoup the amount of energy you've put into creating solar farms. Most of the solar farms, First Solar and all the rest of them, they're all subsidized by tax dollars going through Wall Street. So i.e. it's a money laundering mechanism, right? For sure, solar tech is the future, but it's not what is, to a certain degree, it's not what it's cooked up to be right now, and it hasn't been, right? The technology has to improve a lot more, and this is what people have been saying for like 25 years. We need way better solar. It's gotten better, but nowhere near what it needs to be to satisfy the world's energy needs without hydrocarbons, right? Without gas, without oil, right? Without nuclear, without coal, without hydroelectric. Like you can't, right? So it's a money laundering mechanism, really. It's not viable. It's not viable. Maple Deer, people should maybe invest in nuclear energy. I think so too. I was against nuclear energy, and I am to a certain degree regarding old nuclear reactors because they produce way too much nuclear waste. But new reactors, they have the potential to be extremely, because you can reuse the spent fuel cells and stuff like this. So they have the potential to be viable, but we'll see. I would have to dig down into it a lot more, but I prefer nuclear over committing genocide and waging war, right? Because centralized power has shown us that the other alternative they want for them to have the energy they need is to genocide humanity or genocide huge chunks of humanity. Well, that's not sitting well with me. That's not sitting well with me. Okay. More pineapple. More pineapple. More pineapple. We're actually going to go vote in the BC elections today. Early voting. Take our IDs and voter cards. Like in Canada, you need IDs and voter cards to vote, and go to a place. It's not a mail-in ballot place where you check in, they check with you, there's people there, there's a track record of it, there's a paper trail, and you vote. Very good. Eat your pineapples, people. Frank Embry News just subscribe. Thank you very much for subscribing, Frank. Cheers. A tier 1 sub. Welcome to our live stream. Oh, an anonymous gifter gave Frank Embry News a tier 1 sub. Thank you, anonymous gifter, and welcome to our live stream with a tier 1 sub, Frank. Quote: Is this a pickup line from the Matrix, Elder God? You are the one. You see, you may have spent the last 20 minutes looking for me, but I've spent my entire life looking for you. That would be, you would have to have a few drinks in you to say that, and I'm pretty sure the girl would Have to have a few drinks on her to go, oh baby, let's go have fun. Or she's very good humor and in for a nice ride. One of the best. Hold on, let me read some comments. Maybe I'll give you guys one. Stewart, chycho, what's your take on what's currently happening in the markets? Where we go when we go to World War III? What will happen with the dollar? Really depends. I think the dollar is going to get a boost up for a short period of time, maybe a few months to a year or two, and then after that, the dollar is going to go. Okay. On the markets, it's crazy, right? There are some things I'm looking at. If they drop a little bit more, I might get family into them, but I would definitely not be buying anything that's making all-time highs. I would not be buying anything that's making all-time highs and it's going like, I would not be investing in anything that has gone up 100%, 200%, 300%, 1,000% in the last 2 years. I would not be buying any of those. Okay, I would be inclined to short, but not yet. But gold and silver should be a core holding, but don't do it creepy. Elder God, it's in the delivery, but don't do it creepy. Agreed, 100%. Like that line will work if you come across in a humorous way, in a fun way, right? In a fun way. Chycho, sleepaway Chycho, what's going down? Dollar General is hitting multi-year lows, right? Dollar Tree is hitting multi-year lows. What else is hitting multi-year lows? There's some high-end dividend stocks that have bounced a little bit, but they're still pretty low. There's a lot of stocks hitting multi-year lows, but some of those are bunk. Some of those are bunk. Everything going up? No, everything is not going up. Sleepy waves. Everything is not going up, right? Everything is not going up. That's a fallacy. Okay. And there's a lot of bubbles. Okay, there's a lot of core stocks that are down. Okay, forget about Facebook and Netflix and crap like that. Cat's meow. I've been listening to John Mearsheimer, nice political scientist, Jeffrey Sachs, economist, and Noam Chomsky, linguist activist, all of which seem to be very knowledgeable, but I am newbie. So what do I know? Do you respect their opinions on global politics? John Mearsheimer is good on Israel, not good on China. Okay, Jeffrey Sachs is good on U.S. domestic policy and U.S. International geopolitics as well. So Jeffrey Sachs is pretty good, but he learned his lesson, okay, from the 1990s, where he was one of the architects, unwilling architects of the demise of the collapse of the USSR and the hardship that the Russians went through for 10 years, right? So a lot of Russians don't like Jeffrey Sachs, right? Even though he was played by the US government. So he knows his stuff and he's a lot wiser now, right? Noam Chomsky can kiss my ass because he knows his stuff regarding indigenous population and in the Americas, and regarding Israel, Middle East and stuff like this. But I don't listen to Noam Chomsky anymore, because he came out during the last 4 years and said those people that chose bodily autonomy should be put on an island and let them take care of themselves, don't help them out. So he was pro concentration camps, right? Maybe he went senile. I've listened to him talk when he was older. He hasn't really gone senile, but there's a point you reach where or some people reach where they cannot see the difference, right? They can't see what's happening, right? So Noam Chomsky has constantly stated, that's one of his theses, is the government lies. The government lies us into wars. The government has been lying. But then when it came to the last 4 years, he was all in for the government telling the truth, and anyone who questioned the government, bad, right? So I don't listen to Noam Chomsky anymore, even though I used to really like him, right? And some of his older stuff, pretty good, especially regarding Israel and Palestine. You should listen in terms of the Middle East. Norman Finkelstein, Scott Ritter is pretty good. You should cat's meow. Watch Judge Napolitano. Okay, he brings on Mearsheimer and Sachs. He doesn't bring on Chomsky, thank God, and the Durand. And Dialogue Works. You should listen to Dialogue Works. He's only on CensorTube right now, but he was on Rumble before too. But Brazil banned Rumble, or Rumble pulled out of Brazil. Yeah, Rumble pulled out of Brazil. But Judge Napolitano, Scott Ritter, the Duran, Dialogue Works. Dialogue Works is really good. I watch almost everything he puts out. Oh, let's say 80%, right? Some of the people I don't bother with. Some of the people, if I've listened to them in a previous video, I don't listen to them. That stuff, right? For geopolitics, those are the ones I would look into. If you want economics, I would go Wolf Street, and I would go Martin Armstrong. Even though I think Martin Armstrong is very weak in regards to the Middle East. So Martin Armstrong is good for economics, good for domestic and geopolitics connected up to economics, what's happening financially in the markets, right? But he's very weak in regards to the Middle East, extremely weak. Okay, Casimir, thank you for the answer and recommendation. My pleasure. Alex on Censor2, how are you doing? Hi chycho, how are you? Do you think Iran has nukes already? There's a suspicion that they might have some nuke warhead. Even if they don't, they're extremely close to it, few weeks away. Alex, I don't know if Iran has nukes, but the way the United States and Israel have been behaving, if I was Iran, I would have fucking developed nukes and have had multiple nukes already put on missiles and aiming at Israel. That's what I would have done. But I don't govern a whole country, right? So I only have my own individual single selfish opinion in mind, right? Iran has come out and said they don't have nukes, but you are 100% correct. Iran has the technology, has the know-how, has the scientists, has the materials, has the ability to put those, if they develop nukes, put it on a warhead that can deliver it to Israel or to any US military base in Asia or the Middle East or Africa, right? Or let's say Israel, right? Because United States and Israel have been threatening Iran with nuclear war. However, I still don't think Iran has nuclear weapons yet, which I think to a certain degree is foolish on their part. But they're playing the honorable card, and they haven't been hitting civilian targets. They haven't escalated. They're trying to de-escalate the war situation because they know where this is going. This is World War III, right? If you look at the behavior of Israel, the way they're behaving, and the way the world is reacting, the global majority is reacting to the way Israel is behaving, I'll make the classic comparison. It's how Hitler was behaving when they were conquering multiple countries in Europe, right? They took over Czechoslovakia, across the border, took Poland, all this stuff, right? Went into here, and they were constantly threatening people, saying we're only doing this for our own safety. Netanyahu just came out, right, and told the United Nations to pull out their troops out of their base, and they've already fired on UN peacekeepers. So Israel is threatening the United Nations, the United Nations that has 196 countries in it, right? And the only reason it's able to do that is because the United States and the Western world is backing Israel, and they're arming Israel, right? Israel is nothing. It's 9 million people transplanted into a region and given control of a certain piece of property that belonged to someone else, and they've said they've convinced these people and the fanatic Zionists, they convinced them that they are the chosen people, they are better than the rest of humanity. God, their God is the God of everything, and their God has said they should rule over the earth, right? So this psychotic nation, right, is threatening the United Nations and telling them to remove their peacekeepers. Why are they threatening to remove the peacekeepers? Because they're playing the game they've played before. Because as soon as the peacekeepers are removed and there's no one to document their war crimes, they're stupid enough. I mean, it's ridiculous because the IDF soldiers are documenting their own war crimes, their own genocide, right? So all of that is on record right now, right? But they believe that as soon as the UN troops are gone, the peacekeepers are gone, they can level that area and no one will say anything. If I was an adversary of Israel, may it be Iran, Hezbollah, Lebanon, Syria, any other nation that does not support genocide, I would really try to grasp the concept that Israel doesn't give a rat's ass about human life, anyone else on this planet. They are psychotic maniacs, and they are waging a war of annihilation. You give them an inch, they will take your life and genocide you. They have proven that. At some point, these countries that refuse to be genocide, they're going to realize that there is no making peace with a beast like this, and the only thing they can do is deal with them in kind, because the only thing they understand is brute fucking force. Okay, they have proven that. They don't care about committing genocide. They don't care if the world knows that they are committing genocide. They're flaunting their genocide. They're coming out and saying they're going to genocide more people, right? They're going to genocide other nations. They have their top commanders, top leaders coming out. They're saying they're not going to stop at Lebanon. They're going to go all the way to Damascus. They're going to take parts of Saudi Arabia and Turkey, right, and Egypt and Jordan, right? That's their agenda. I don't know how much clearer it is, but that is their agenda. They're saying that's their agenda. They're behaving like that's their agenda, right? It walks like a duck, quacks like a duck. It is a fucking duck. Genocidal supremacist duck, right? I don't understand why the rest of the world is sitting there not believing that these people are this insane. Because I think what's going to happen is at some point the world's going to realize that these people really believe what they're saying, and they need to be stopped, right? When that day comes, you're going to see a lot of Zionists and Israelis cry their crocodile tears and say the world hates them and the world is trying to genocide them, and then they're going to use that justification to use nuclear weapons. When that happens, I hope it doesn't, if that happens, I hope the world is strong enough to realize who these monsters are and deal with them accordingly, whatever it takes, hopefully in a peaceful way, right? Hopefully in a peaceful way, But these types of people, cult supremacists, Zionists, that they believe the rest of humanity is garbage and they have the right to rule over the entire earth. I hope the world decides that these people should never have power again, ever. Ever. They should have never had power to begin with. Okay. So does Iran have nukes? I sure hope they do. And remember, if you're following my work, I kept on saying that Iran doesn't have nukes and I hope they don't. It's reached a point where me, chycho, peaceful loving guy, is saying I hope Iran does. I hope Iran does. Okay. Knights of Old, salutations. How are we doing, chycho? How long until US and Canada have true no police gay zones like in South America? No police go zones, right? Police gated zones, gay zones. I put two words together, so I'm going to read that again. How long until USA and Canada have true no police gated zones like in South America? I don't know. Certain areas are going to have it sooner than others, right? United States is going to have it sooner than Canada, even though Canada probably we'll see, right? But I think we're going to see Canada and the United States, like Martin Armstrong stated, a break up in the next 8 to 10 years, possibly. Cameron, uncensored chycho time. Just got back from a weekend of partying in Bristol. Glad I caught the stream in time to wind down for bed. Nice. I hope you have amazing dreams. Salutations, salutations. Cyber Kalak. Salute, uncensored too. On Twitch. Quote, Allegot, quote, in individuals insanity is rare, but in groups, parties, nations and epochs it is the rule, end quote. Yeah, I had a friend that used to tell me, chycho, what do you call, and he was Asian, he was Chinese, and he had a run-in at the time with some idiots, right? And he used to tell me, for a few months he was telling me this, he goes, chycho, what do you call one white person? I said, what? He goes, a potential friend. I go, okay, cool. He goes, what do you call a group of white people? A dozen white people or more. I said, more friends? He turns to me and said, a mob, right? Now, he shouldn't have said white friends. He could say Zionists, right? You could say whatever. But the point taken, it's the same quote that Elder God said, right? In individuals, insanity is rare, but in groups, parties, nations, and epochs, it is the rule, end quote. Prowler Ranger on Censor Tube. Do you believe most of 9 million people living there to be truly Jewish? Hell no. No. I have Jewish family. I know I have Jewish friends. Some of the people that oppose these fucking Zionists the most are Jews, right? Zionists, they're the name stealers, they're Khazarian mafia, they're Elohim cult, right? They have taken on the Jewish identity to get their agenda done. This has nothing with Judaism. Some people call it Torah this or this. Well, shit, people. Like, I've talked to people online and stuff. They go, the Torah is brutal. You should read Torah. It's horrendous. Even Cliff High says it, right? I'm like, okay, but have you guys read the Old Testament? The Old Testament is ruthless. Have you heard of Sodom and Gomorrah? For F's sake, right? All religious texts, old texts, are effing brutal, right? So forget about what some people say has been translated multiple times and it is the word of God from blah blah blah, right? These are people that have written things down and told people that this is the word of God. And you say, how do you know? Because God would never allow God's word to be bastardized. Like, really, this is an argument some people use. You say, well, a human being wrote this. No, the human being was used as a tool to write the word of God. I'm like, there's no arguing with these people, right? There's like a loop. It's like talking to an insane human being that's looping the same damn thing over and over again, right? They can't break out of that loop. So, but majority of people in Israel, very few of them are true practicing Jews, right? They're members of cults. They're Zionists, right? Because 85% of them support this genocide. If you're a holy person, if you believe in God, you would never support genocide. Even to your worst enemies, you would never support genocide. What Israel has been doing. So that proves that they're not all Jewish. They're Zionists, right? That's what it is. Ellegod, Germany defeated and occupied Poland, attacked in September 1939, Denmark, April 1940, Norway, April 1940, Belgium, May 1940, the Netherlands, May 1940, Luxembourg, May 1940, France, May 1940, Yugoslavia, April 1941, and Greece, 1941. When was Czechoslovakia? What year was Czechoslovakia? Czechoslovakia was between Poland and Denmark, wasn't it? Or was it pre-Poland? No, Czechoslovakia maybe 1941. Yeah, I mean, Israel's doing that. Okay, Gaza, West Bank, Lebanon, and time frame is almost, you know, pretty close in the same time frame. 1939. In 1 year, they've Gaza, West Bank, Lebanon, right? Germany, 1939 Poland, 1940 Denmark, Norway, Belgium, and Netherlands, and Luxembourg, and France, and then 1941 was Yugoslavia and Greece. Oh, Yugoslavia, there it is, Yugoslavia. Oh no, Czechoslovakia, right? So it's crazy stuff. I'm gonna allow that Prowler Ranger. So that's Twitch sort of zapped it. Knights of Old on Censortube. What would the US lose if they pulled out of Israel? A lot of enemies. The US would lose a lot of enemies, and it would save hundreds of billions of dollars. Okay, it would like make friends. It would show the world that it's believes in a just system, that it doesn't support genocide. Like, Israel is a cancer for the United States. It's killing the host and Western world. I hope people realize that. Alex Ryan, I think there are mysteries in religion. For example, Para Mahasansa Yogananda performed the Maha Samadhi, which is where a highly conscious yogi enlightened sits and stops his heart and leaves his body. Astral projecting. I've left my body. I've done that through entheogens. Did I stop my heart? I don't know. I left my body. I could see myself. Right? It was in a movie theater. It was a cool story. Cat's meow. F concentration camps, jabs, or as you say, the boom boom, and killing innocent civilians. Indeed. What do you speculate will happen to the US when BRICS becomes active? BRICS is active right now, but in 2 weeks, they're getting together, and all bets are that they're going to introduce a settlement mechanism that they've agreed on, which could be partially based on gold and electronic, and for the countries right now and very large corporations, but slowly they'll roll that out to an individual basis. We'll see. But what will happen? The U.S. empire is collapsing. It's really a question of how fast or how slow it collapses, right? With Kamala, really fast. With Trump, a little bit slower. But there's no way of stopping it now. You can only mitigate the damage, right? Mabel dear, I hope it steps back instead of going inside work to mention. Prowler Ranger, I'm following you. I've thought the same for a while, and such is predicted in the Bible, which I do believe to be preserved perfectly, because a sovereign creator is capable of doing that despite man's meddling. Modern day Israel seems more like a haven for pedos and death cults, and I've heard the true Jews living there in appearance are treated as bad as Palestinians. Yeah, same with the Christians. Armenians are treated poorly in Israel, right? Elder God, the military occupation of Czechoslovakia by Nazi Germany began with the German annexation of Sunderland in 1938. I knew it was before Poland. 1938 continued with the creation of the protectorate of Bohemia, Moldavia, and by the end of 1944 extended to all parts of Czechoslovakia. Okay, so it was a slow progression, right? I have studied many invasions of history. The first country the fascists invaded is always the same, their own. Haha. Prowler Ranger, should he win, I'm hoping BRICS will offer Trump a sweetheart deal to preserve peace and promote prosperity. A man can dream. A man can dream. I don't think I think BRICS is open to the United States joining, but the neocons will not allow it. Neocons or Zionists will not allow it. First time checked. Cuttlepuff. America killed hundreds of thousands with the H-bomb during World War II. Japan, who were mostly civilians. Israel hasn't even come close to that number. Bullshit. What are you talking about? First of all, you have to look at percentage. Cuttlepuff. First of all, you have to look at percentage. Right now, by most estimates now, okay, legit estimates, Israel has killed more than 200,000 Palestinians. 200,000 Palestinians. You just said America killed hundreds of thousands with the H-bomb. Israel has dropped more bombs in Gaza than Dresden, than Hiroshima, Nagasaki, the equivalent of Hiroshima and Nagasaki. Some people say more in World War II, which I can't believe. I can't believe that, right? But more bombs than Dresden, okay? More bombs, way more bombs than what the H-bomb and Hiroshima and Nagasaki were, right? Not only that, they've killed 200,000 Gazans. That's 10% of the population of Gaza. They killed 10%, at least 10% of the population of a region, and displaced the entire population and leveled 50 to 75% of the infrastructure. Are you effing kidding me? There's no yeah, you're right, there's no fucking comparison, because with Hiroshima and Nagasaki, within weeks help was on its way. In Gaza, Israel has been committing this genocide for a year, and all the borders are crossed. You got the most powerful, supposedly, country in the world, United States, and the Western world co-signing the genocide and supplying all the weapons for this genocide. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? Holy clueless, low IQ rat statement I've ever heard. Israel hasn't even come close to that number. You fucking vomit inducing your statement. Holy fuck. You're watching genocide, the most brutal genocide in human history, unfolding before your eyes, and you're going, it doesn't even compare to dropping the H-bomb on Japan. It doesn't even come close. I'm a low IQ little rat rat with my head up my fucking ass. Jesus. Wow, man. That got me going, eh? Holy fuck. Crazy. Neutral boys. Notice how Macron suddenly shifted his tone against Israel because Lebanon was attacked. France doesn't care about Palestine, no, but when their former colony was attacked, they started criticizing Netanyahu. He called for stop arming Israel suddenly after Lebanon attack. Yeah, after the Lebanon attack. Yeah, and Macron's talking out of his ass. They're still supplying weapons to Israel, right? He's doing this to make himself look okay, and he's doing this because he knows there's a fucking lot of Middle Eastern person living in France, and he doesn't want the shit to hit the fan. Macron is just trying to preserve his power. He's a piece of crap. But yeah, Europe is slowly distancing themselves. To a certain degree, if you look at this in another angle, you could say that Europe, many people in Europe, Germany, tried to genocide the Jews, and this is their final solution. They took them, put them in Israel, and armed them, right? Armed them to the teeth, and then they knew they were going to do this shit because they were Zionist fanatics, right? Because they were part of what happened during World War II and why it happened to the Jews. Why, you can go down the rabbit hole if you want, right? So what they're doing now is they gave them what they needed to destroy themselves, right? So you could say that Europe is continuing what they were doing during World War II, which is trying to eliminate the Jews, and this is the way they're doing it. They're allowing themselves to do it to themselves by committing horrendous acts that the world is appalled by, and it's going to come and bite them in the ass, right? Maybe they're cutting the cord and saying, we finally did it to you, you idiots, right? Look at you. You became a cult and you did what we said you always wanted to do. You're genociding the rest of humanity. Fuck off, right? Is that what they're doing? Or Zionists that stupid to fall for this? I don't know. Only insane people would ever do what Israel is doing. Really, they're fucking nuts. Have you seen some of their commanders talking? We are the God's chosen people. This is all of our land. We must kill them all, men, women, and children. That's what they're saying. Like, what the fuck? Very fucking weird. Mabel dear, but also, two wrongs don't make a right. No, two wrongs don't make a right. Temper peace. They already killed close to 10,000 in Lebanon. Yeah, the guy's talking out of his ass. Oh, I got. Look at this. I got a little fruit fly in my cognac. No, might as well go out with a bang. The guy did. Where is he? There he is. There he is. Look, here's the fruit fly. At least he got drunk at the end. Good way to go. What a beautiful salute with fruit fly juices in here. Temper piece, king R word, yeah. Void hook, how are you doing? My blood pressure went up and I'm only 30. Holy shit, that comment was brain rot. Yeah, insane. Now let's check it out. Corruption profits. How are we doing for time? There's a Alex on sensitive. There's a damaged Russian ship holding 20,000 IBs of fertilizer, which is considered a floating bomb equivalent to an atomic bomb. If it were to go off, Britain has denied it entry into their port. It's really shit. Chase, listen, billions to Israel Yet our infrastructure is literally collapsing here in the US. Potholes in our roads everywhere. I have been to poor countries that have better infrastructure. Yeah, the West is collapsing big time. Dun, 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 dun. Oh, I'll read one more of your comment. Cuttlepuff. 41,000 were killed in Gaza. No, not counting Jews. What the fuck? 214,000 killed in Japan. Not sure where you're pulling your numbers from. I'm pulling my numbers not out of my ass, because that's where you're pulling your numbers from. You're pulling your numbers out of CNN and Fox, and the 41,000 number that you're getting, right? Those are the names of the people they already know, right? They already know names of the people they already know. There are tens of thousands of people that are buried under the rubble. Okay. There are tens of thousands of people that are dying without people having their names. There are thousands upon thousands of people that Israel killed. The IDF murdered and buried in mass graves. We have video of it. We have pictures of it. There are thousands upon thousands that Israel kidnapped from Gaza. Men, women, and children. And they took to concentration camps in Gaza and been raping and torturing them. And mass executing them. The 41,000 you know that you're getting, that's the base. That's like the lowest of the lowest IQ little rats that think that's how many people have been murdered in a year in Gaza. If you look at the footage, are you out of your effing mind? Right? Israel just killed 10,000 people in Lebanon in 2 weeks. They've been doing to Gaza what they've been doing to Lebanon for over 52 weeks, right? So let's do a little mathematics. Do you know mathematics? You little shit, right? 2 weeks, 10,000 people, 52 weeks in a year. Divide 52 by 2, right? You get 26. Multiply 26 by 10,000, you get 260,000 people, right? Now go fuck off. Dumbasses. Dumbasses. Crazy. Disgusting. The way these Zionists justify their genocide is fucking vomit inducing. It's fucking vomit inducing. Right? And then they're gonna cry their crocodile tears when it fucking blows up in their faces. Unfucking believable. Crazy. Sure as hell could have used me when you were a child to learn a little mathematics. Yeah, temporary peace. Sorry. I did a Scott Ritter. Right? I did a Scott Ritter. I lost my cool. But I don't like genocide. I don't like genocide. Genocide bad. Right? One of the reasons I don't like genocide is because Armenians have been genocided. Right? I know my history. Right? So knowing, being from a people that have been genocided, where the perpetrators of the genocide refuse to accept that genocide was committed, right? Deny that genocide, right? It cuts you deep, right? Where, and then you also have other people who have been genocided, Jews, right? Israel not recognizing the Armenian genocide and helping Azerbaijan and Turkey to commit another genocide on the Armenians. And then these little IQ little rats come along and say, oh, United States killed 200,000 people in Hiroshima. Israel doesn't even come close to that, because CNN tells me that 41,000 people have died, have been murdered. They usually say just died, not murdered, right? And all of them were Hamas. Yeah, all of them. Maybe there was a couple of innocent people that were killed along the way, but Israel says they killed 41,000 Hamas members. Yes, they were all militants, all of them. If you've ever wondered what type of people commit genocide and how they justify their genocide and who they are, we are witnessing it. We're living through it right now, right? Never forget them. Never forget them, right? Because they will try to rewrite history, but you are a witness to genocide. Never forget it. Never forget it. Oh God, the Darfur genocide in Sudan was pretty bad. Over 200,000 people. Yeah, and it was in a short period of time. In a short period of time as well, right? And a lot of it through starvation and just camps set up, refugee camps set up, and then the militias would come along and just kill everyone. Sound familiar? But Israel's not sending their militias in to the refugee camps. They're just dropping American bombs on them. 2,000-pound bomb. Horrendous. Cyber Kalak, you're right, chycho. I wish I wasn't. Alex, is it time to call EU as G was used that for? You know what G ends with? Genocide. Genocide Europe. Crazy. Rwanda was crazy. That was rapid and that was brutal. Machetes and knives and drownings and burnings and ruthless by design, by the way, gang. By design. Look at Rwanda now. Who controls it? What money is in there? Which governments are in there, right? And everyone just stood by and watched it happen. It was by design. 30 years later, we know what the agenda was, right? This little state, Rwanda, is now a mecca for the globalists, for the neocons, for the European, the American, the World Economic Forum, those people, right? It's crazy. Alex, chycho, wasn't Scott Ritter convinced of chatting with an underage girl on a role-playing? I don't buy it. The US government, one of the first things they use to try to silence people, truth tellers, whistleblowers, is they throw what the Epstein people, those people on the Epstein client list do, but they do it against people that are whistleblowing and stuff like this. Look at what they accuse Assange of, right? Only low IQ little rats believed it, and I know some of them, or one of them anyway, right? Gang, let's call the stream. Sorry I went a little hardcore, but it's you have to resist this kind of genocide. You really do. It's maybe P. Diddy is innocent. I don't know. I don't think so though. Mabel dear, modern destruction weapon are so coward. It's a cowardice, not because of some quote honor of the fight end quote nonsense, but because it's so easy to drop a missile over many innocent people and not have to look at a single person that you're killing. Yeah, agree. I actually just read Scott Ritter's article today that he put out. He put out an article today saying America has the Midas touch. Look into it. Actually, it's a really good article. Here, you know what? I'll link it up for you guys. Let me see if I can grab it. I posted it on our Matrix server. Let me grab it. I said it was an excellent read. Where's it? Excellent read. Here it is. Let me copy this link. This is Scott Ritter's article from today. It's called America's Midas touch. Okay, and this article he talks about some of the things that we've talked about right now, right? specifically, what was it? The Honor to Fight. And one thing he mentioned here was Jimmy Stewart. Jimmy Stewart was one of my favorite actors of all time. He did a lot of black and white movies, and he's old school. He was tall, skinny, and he did the movie where he wants to go travel the world as an engineer and stuff like this. I forget what the movie's called. Read that article. Travel the world and stuff like this, but he gets stuck managing the bank and stuff like this. But I didn't know about this history of Jimmy Stewart. Jimmy Stewart was a bomber in World War II. Holy schmolies. This was a revelation to me, because I don't go into people's personal things for me, but it was incredible, because Scott Ritter was saying he was a bomber in World War II, and he saw a lot of his friends, 100-something of his friends, die during that war, and he developed PTSD because of that, and he couldn't fly anymore because he would wake up with people screaming, dying, stuff like this. And the role that he played in that movie, where I forget what it's called, it's a brilliant movie. I've watched it multiple times, right? Where he goes to a bridge. He's thinking he wants to kill himself, and an angel comes up. It's a tearjerker. It's a tearjerker, right? And he said in that scene, in that movie, there's a part where Jimmy Stewart is having like a panic attack and stuff like this, but he came out and said that panic attack wasn't acted. He was just playing. He was just experiencing what his PTSD was like, because of him being a bomber in World War II. It was pretty incredible, right? Fake VIP card. Yeah, I heard about the third Trump assassination. Yeah, cats meow, sirens, they're coming for you, Chycho. No, we need them, Chycho. I am not clear who is in on the New World Order or the Great Reset that World Economic Forum, Klaus Schwab, and American presidents have spoken of. Will you please help me with this? Who are the people, governments, etc., that support this? Thank you for your time. Some of the players are the ones that we see. No, I didn't see Mitch question. Someone's Jonah. I didn't see your question, Jonah. I was on Twitch. But look, cats meow. Look, some of their puppets, some of their agents, we already know. Bill Gates, Fauci, Klaus Schwab, Google guy, Gross, like so many of them. I don't want to start giving names because it just expands and expands and expands, right? Those are their puppets, their agents. Who's behind them? There's some of the names that were dropped, plus more, right? Some of the names of the families that have been around, that they control the banking systems, the oil industries, the Wall Street mega corporations, and it's all those people, right? So it's not just one individual. Vatican's in there. It's not just the city of London is in there, city of Washington is in there, the state of London, the state of Washington, whatever you call them. They're not part of the UK and the United States. They're identities, right? They're these institutions that are there, right? So it's all those people. You want to go down that rabbit hole, start watching and reading Jordan Maxwell's videos and listening to his videos, watching his videos, and reading his articles and books, right? Jordan Maxwell, the guy talks about who some of these families are and who's running the stuff and whatnot, right? That would be my recommendation. For me, I know who their puppets are, who their agents are, and Trudeau is one of them for sure, right? And as long as we deal with their puppets and their agents, those people have no power. They can collapse the economy for sure, But if people say no to their wars, they lose power. If people build alternate systems to do commerce, to do trade, they lose power. If the police, right, realize who's calling their shots for them to brutalize the population, then they lose power. Deal with their agents and their puppets, they have no power. That's the end game. That's the end game, right? Right. Elder God, Vim Miller is a registered Republican who tried to present fake VIP credentials at a Trump rally on Saturday and then found himself arrested on illegal firearm charges. The 49-year-old Las Vegas resident describes himself on LinkedIn as a quote investigative journalist end quote, and is the co-founder of what appears to be a fringe far-right website that vows to rage against the mainstream media. And here's the kicker: the Trump administration and their backers in the US government, right? Trump has come out and said he wants more protection, and you know, all the people connected to that and the Zionists are coming out, and they're building this up, by the way, gang. We talked about this last week, right? Or 2 weeks ago with the second assassination, Trump came out and said Iran might have had a role to play in it. You got to be low IQ rat like the guy who was posting the questions to think that Iran would try to assassinate Trump, would have a hand to play Trump. It can't be that stupid. If Trump actually believes that Iran's behind it, then man, he's dumber than what does Scott Ritter say? Dumber than dirt, right? But I don't think Trump really believes that. Trump is just playing the Zionist card, right? They're trying to build up the rhetoric to go to war with Iran. Is it going to work? Well, whoever wants to join that war, you're an idiot, right? You're dying for Zionism, and if you're going to die for Zionism, then you deserve to die for Zionism. Bye. So right now they're spinning it that Iran. I can't really believe that too many people believe that bullshit, right? Cast me out. Okay, gotcha. Thank you. Just one more query: is Russia and or China in agreement with New World Order? That's a big question. That's a big question. Some people say yes, some people say no. Some people say yes because they're rolling out the digital currency. They rolled out, vaccine injection mandates and stuff like this, and the mRNA stuff, and that, and this, and this, and they go back. I don't think they're in for the New World Order of the Western system, of the neocon system. There's internal fighting, factions waging war against each other, right? Some people think if you trash talk Zionism in the United States, the horrendous wars that they've conducted and the mass murders that they have committed, they think you support Russia or China. No, you don't have to support Russia or China or the United States or Israel. You don't have to take a side. You can just turn around and say they're all fucking horrendous, right? They're all horrendous. Humanity has to get control back of our societies. That's what we need to do. Okay, that's what we need to do. Okay. Crowley VCR chycho, sending blessings your way, sir. Hope all is well on your end. Salute. Thank you very much. I'm drinking fruit fly bathed beautifuls. Salute, gang. And on that note, gang, let's call this a stream. Apologies if I didn't get a chance to read everything. I went off on some rants. Surely your commentary. Thanks, Casmia. I try to keep it civil. I stand with Russia. Enjoyed the Armenian meeting. Yeah, the the boxing thing. Is that what you're talking about? Boom boom, or Lavrov and what's going on? I don't know what's going on. I hope we can close this demonic portal. I agree with you, Karmi VCR. I agree with you. Aside from that, calling the stream. We're calling the stream, gang. I'm gonna do my little outro. Thank you for being here. Thank you for participating in our discussion. Apologies if I lost my cool a little bit, but sometimes that happens. Gang, if you want to follow this work, I'm on Patreon, Substack, Subscribe Star. You can follow the work there. We do have a matrix space. Please feel free to join us. on that space, a handful of people, a couple of dozen, 3 dozen, 2 dozen, 2.5 dozen, just sharing information, chit-chatting, talking it up, and seeing what's it's all about. We are live streaming on Twitch, on Rumble, on BitChute, and on CensorTube. You can follow the live streams on all those 4 platforms. If anyone's having a hiccup, any of those platforms having a hiccup, we killed one and we've got 3 more to go. So we're being anti-fragile. Gang, we are recording this on a lapel mic and we will upload the audio to soundcloud.com as a podcast, and this podcast should be available on all your favorite podcasting platforms. We're on Twitter, we're on Minds, we're on WeCave, we're on Gab, we're on Truth Social, we're on Getter, and we're on Substack Notes. You can definitely follow the work there. Gang, for all of you supporting this work, thank you very much for the support. Thank you for coming here. Thank you for sharing information. If I'm being a little harsh on you, I hope you appreciate that it's coming from love. And gang, salute to the mods. Thank you for being here. Thank you for taking care of business. Thank you for all the support, gang. We'll see you guys in the next stream. Salute.